Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Nittani Draws. I'm Brittany Copley and I'm going to be showing you a dark face speed paint today. This particular piece is inspired by a book that I'm reading right now called The Fall of Fair Isle. It's not a direct fan art interpretation of the main character, but I was inspired by her. So she had these mulberry eyes as described in the book, so I really wanted to interpret that. And also I love drawing things with a fantasy theme with bright colors, so I definitely had room to interpret here. This piece is a 5x7. That is because I'm doing a show called The Pocket Size Paintings. It's going to be at Dragon on the Lake for a show called Dragon on the Lake with pocket size paintings at the tattoo shop Tattoo Nouveau in Lake Orion. So I haven't ever been in a show at this place before, so I'm kind of bringing my A game. I want to have at least 20 pieces to show. All the pieces are $20, which is what this piece will be available for on my store Envy beforehand, if anyone wants to pick it up before I drop it off at the show, but otherwise it's going to be available at that show. So I'm going in now with the microns, and I do multiple layers with microns and sketching. So usually I do 2 layers of sketching, 3 layers of micron, and 3 to 4 layers of color. In this one, I only did 2 layers of sketching and 2 layers of micron. That's because it's so small and it was easy, I think, to get more dynamic colors and more dynamic line weight when it's so small, because I can do it while I'm working. And also, she has so many curly cues. Oh my gosh, it was a huge pain in the butt to try to keep track of where each curly cue was going and where it was supposed to go and whether or not it was supposed to go there. I had a lot of trouble with it. Her hands are a little wonky. Not the worst hands I've ever drawn, but certainly not the best. As you know, if you've seen my channel before, I have issues with hands, so I'm not hiding them anymore, but they're still not the best. So for this piece, I made a lot of colors up. I got a Van Gogh watercolor set for my birthday this year from my best friend, and I haven't really used it very much, and I felt kind of bad. So I finally broke them out, and I realized that they don't have purple. So I had to make my own purple up, and I think I did an okay job of it. It's a little bit more of a lilac-y purple, not like a super vivid violet sort of color, which I think worked for skin. It has the layers of the red, which, you know, skin usually does because blood is red and it adds all those fun layers to skin tones, but I think it did an alright job. So the mulberry eyes here, I had to mix a few different colors to get the deep dark red that I wanted. So it's the darkest red that comes in the Van Gogh pack, and then I added burnt sienna to the mix in order to make it super, super dark and super, like, berry colored. I really, really love the way that it came out. I used it everywhere as soon as I figured out what color it was. Her fingernails, her jewelry, her eyes, the background. I even added some of that tone into her skin to add a little bit more depth to it, because at that point it was looking a little bit flat. I dried it with a hairdryer in between layers this time because it was about 2 o'clock in the morning and I was ready to go to bed and it needed to move a little faster, and my dog was really angry with me that I was still painting and not taking him for a walk, so it needed to move along. I added some gray tones to the hair because I hate leaving white on a canvas or a piece of paper or anything. I just always hear my art teacher yelling at me in the background telling me that I need to fill every second of the page. So for this one, I did a really, really, really light gray wash because her hair was supposed to be white, but I can't leave it white, so I didn't. And then I added some blue and some of that same color that I used for her skin, but like super diluted. And then added some reds into her skin again. I added some more like lighter tones and darker tones to give her more depth. I think her hands in the end turned out really nice, but they were still, you know, the shape was weird, but the color turned out nice. Here I'm drying it again so I can go in with gel pen. Right there, that's where the gel pen happens. And I love to use gel pen as like the final last little bits of detail. So here's all the detail shot. You can see the curly cues in the background and the hair, the highlights against her skin. The gel pen just adds everything to the end there. So anyway, thank you so much for stopping in. This is my first video back to YouTube since I moved and changed everything about my life. So I'm really grateful. Please subscribe, check out my store Envy, and then follow me on Instagram. I update all the time on Instagram. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.